What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Hustle and Heat Podcast. Today is episode 10, and I'd like to introduce a special guest. This guy has been working for my family since the 1990s, delivering food for the Soup Jungle Cafe. He has then progressed in his career to banking and is now a vice president of commercial lending at Cruz Bank and Trust. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome Nicholas Worden. Nick, thank you for being on the podcast. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the invite, George. It is an honor to hang out with some family members that are not going to yell at me in Arabic that I semi-understand.
So, like, how often did you get yelled at?
Well, I knew a lot of what the words were by the tone of the word that was coming at me, and I understood idiot very much so. Your uncle and your aunt like to call me idiot from time to time. Yeah.
I heard you were a good delivery driver.
I was good at delivering, but when I was inside and I was cutting the tomatoes wrong, I was getting yelled at, or cutting the onions wrong, I was definitely getting yelled at.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, Nick.
Born in Flint, Michigan. Moved down to Florida at 10, so been here for a little over 30 years. Watched this town grow up from... well, I don't want to call it a one-stoplight town, but there was a Walmart in Port Charlotte when I moved here, and that kind of felt like it was about it. And I look at where it's come in those 30 years, and just happy to be part of this. I know what my hometown in Michigan looks like nowadays, and I'm a Michigander through and through. But I wouldn't want to live anywhere else than here. I wouldn't want to raise a family anywhere else than here. I love what we have here. I love the community. I love the friendliness. It's a mix of Midwest folks. It's a mix of East Coast folks. And it's just different. It is different. When I try to tell people about our community and kind of who we are and what we do, it's hard for people to understand it. Yeah, they don't understand that.
And I kind of relate to you in that sense. I moved here when I was 12. And it was a hard transition from Maryland. But now that I'm older, I'm like, man, thank God.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we had city buses and we had all these cool things to do in the city. I moved from there out to the ranchettes. There was nothing in the ranchettes that many years ago. So, yeah, I'm happy to have what we have today. And, I know that there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I want it to be the same sleepy town it was when I moved here. But when you do that, you've slowed down growth. So I like where we're at. I want to continue to see the path grow.
So you lived here for 30 years. Where do you think we'll be in the next 10 years?
So I think the next 10 are the most crucial for Northport. The trends for the growth patterns, we had a really big boom, and now is how does this city react to that boom? How do we get infrastructure in ground, and how do we get those other things going to where you can facilitate a hospital coming into town and some of these other bigger businesses that want to bring their workforce here? And that infrastructure is the biggest thing, is let's make sure that they have everything they need, so when they do call the city, we have the site, let's get you going because everything else is ready to go. So I think that we're going to continue the growth pattern in this area. New builds in Northport are fantastic. There's a good rental market. We are a good mix of resident owned and then also renters. So I like this area a little better than some of the surroundings, not as expensive. Yes, we don't have the beach in our backyard, but a 10-15 minute drive and I'm at that beach. I like that more than paying the fees that you would have to pay to have a beachfront home or something along that line.
I understand. Do you live in Northport?
I live in Northport, built a home here in 2005. We moved in 6, but we built during where Charlie came through. Our house, we had the slab poured and we were supposed to be in our house in a few months, and then all of a sudden Charlie came through and they had to use the lumber other places for a while. So
at least you didn't have the walls up.
I was very happy. The concrete was sitting on the slab. Yeah, the blocks were there.
I mean, that'd be scary if a hurricane takes out the slab.
Yes, I was not nervous about the slab, but yeah. That was my first experience with a hurricane, a real hurricane, we'll call it. And I mean, Charlie was a doozy, but it's changed the town to be what it is. And I know a lot of people will wish they would have put some things back to the way it was, but progress is to move forward, and it's great. I look at downtown Punta Gorda, what it's developed into. Some of Charlotte Harbor and the growth that's there. Same thing with Port Charlotte. It's grown, and it's grown in the better.
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah, and the restaurants that we have, and the other items to go do, the activities. Some of that stuff wasn't there, and didn't have opportunity for it. So now we have that, and I love where we're at.
So if you were to sell someone on moving to this area, what would be your number one sales point?
Come here, visit the area. Come stay at Sunseeker. That is a premier resort. That's a resort you have in a really big city. We're lucky to have in our backyard. Come stay there, and then you can visit your areas. Go to the Isles in Punta Gorda. Go to the Ranchettes. Go to Port Charlotte. Go to the beach in Inglewood. Come to Northport. Go to all of these areas that are around it. You're never going to find a better value and a better community that you're surrounded with. They're top-notch schools, whether they're an A school, a B school. It's the quality of the schools, and it's the quality of the teachers that you have at the schools. So sometimes the schools may not show you with an A grade. It doesn't mean that you don't have great teachers, and it doesn't mean that you don't have great administration. So those are the things that I think bring younger families here, and I think that's what we need.
Yeah, I think we do need younger families, but how do we get them to continue to come here?
So,
because we are like a snowbird-driven location, right, or destination.
So it's stuff to do. Think about it. When I want to go do something, typically if it's not here in town, I got to go somewhere. Mm-hmm. And that's the hard part, is the going somewhere. If you have a younger family, you don't want to go an hour away to do something. You want to be able to do it locally. So as we get more of those things that you can do with children and with families, that's where you're going to start to get more and more.
So do you see the area like being a destination spot for like big corporations such as like Topgolf, PopStroke, Dave & Buster's, all those like big name places that people enjoy going to and do go to?
So the bigger businesses like that, when they look at a site, they're looking at the number of residents you have and then the average income. Being a retirement community, typically you don't have as strong of an income level because it's more retirees. Yes, it's guaranteed money, but it's not family type money. It's different multiple salaries in the household. The retirement funds are typically not as much. So the more that we can mix in those other businesses, the more opportunities we get for those bigger companies to look at us. Years ago, we would have never gotten a hospital because most of the seniors only have certain insurance. That insurance pays pennies on the dollar, where our private insurance is something that's going to pay them a lot more. So that's made a difference. That's why we're getting a hospital, and that's why we're going to get some of the other things that come along with a hospital. And the corridors of our town have not been built out. The Toledo Blades, the Sumter, the River Road, all of those still have open space to bring a Topgolf, a Dave & Buster's. There's space for all those things right here in town. Just need more people. And
do you think within 10 years we'll be kind of like Sarasota, Fort Myers area? You think we'll be smaller?
I think we'll be smaller. The reason I say that is the general development who originally designed the communities designed them for more bedroom communities where it's a lot more resident forward than it is commercial forward. So you have to fight for the commercial space that you have. So the corridor along 41s and then the Toledo Blade, the Sumters, the major intersections, those areas you almost have to fight for that commercial, because if I'm a developer and I can build an apartment complex and make more money doing that than building a strip center that could have more things in it to do, I'm going to build that piece.
It's more incentivized for the investors.
Yep.
I understand that. So as the vice president of commercial lending, you obviously have like a big part in the development here or the real estate purchases, right? So as the years have progressed in your career, do you see more and more investors coming into town?
Yes. In the past, we used to have not as many folks that would jump into an unknown area. We are no longer an unknown area. So we've kind of hit the map. Charlotte County, with the airport and having prepped lands, and then Northport having large parcels that are available for commercial development, that's where I think we're going to see the future. We're going to get some medical businesses in town. Charlotte County's getting some aviation businesses, and I think Northport's going to end up being a corridor.
What do you mean by corridor?
So along 75, Sarasota's kind of ran out of space along their 75 track. Yes, there's still some for growth and development, but you look at Northport along 75, it's wide open for whatever development that you want to be able to bring there. And Fort Myers doesn't have that luxury. Sarasota doesn't have that luxury. It's just Charlotte County and Northport have that luxury of we have space.
We do have a lot of space.
And that space is wide open for, it's a canvas for your artist, but it's got to be the right thing. It's got to be right for the city. It's got to be right for the people that live here. And it's got to be the right jobs. If you're bringing in more retail jobs, that isn't contributing as much to the community as a higher end aviation job or a higher end medical supplies or something along that line that could be a little more beneficial.
So you seem like, the way you're talking right now, you seem very passionate and very optimistic of the future. What brings that passion to you, or that optimism?
One of the things that brings it is I saw where we were at 30 years ago, and I see where we're at today, and I see some of the leaders that we have in town that are forward thinkers. Whereas in the past, sometimes you had the folks that didn't want it to change. And I don't think we have that anymore. I think we see folks that are realizing if we don't bring in more businesses, there's still a big tax bill to pay. Now that gets split up between the residents instead of splitting it up between more of the commercial piece. Commercial uses 25% of the services that they pay for, where it's the opposite. It's almost 60% for residents. So it's a big difference on that. The amount of money that the taxes that the commercial pays compares to residential. And look at all the good things that come when businesses come into town. More things to do, more attractions. What we have across the street at Coco Plum, it brings folks to spend money here. And that's where I see that we'll have future growth. I believe that there's additional development at Coco Plum. There will be additional developments around the community. Welland Park is an area that's absolutely booming. Those are things that are helping us stay on the map and want bigger entities are going to want to start to come here.
So what do you expect the expansion of Coco Plum to look like? What kind of stores do you think we will get in that expansion?
I think it'll be a pretty similar mix to what they currently have. I think when they build out the additional section, you'll have some more restaurants in there, because I think that most of the plazas realize that you need a good selection of restaurants. And then I think you also need the right shopping. So when it first opened, there was a different store where Dick's Sporting Goods is, and that store may have not been the right fit at that time, but Dick seems to be thriving there. And you look at the mix of stores that are there, they always seem to be steady. They seem to be busy. So the owners of the plazas do a really good job of figuring out the good mix. What's going to bring people here, but also what's a good fit for the market. Because if you threw in a high-end retailer, the retirees may not want to shop at the high-end retailer, but if you throw in a TJ Maxx or a Marshalls, they're all over that. So it's the right fit for the market.
100%. So I definitely agree with you that Coco Plum needs more restaurants. Because you look at it now, all they have is Five Guys, Chipotle, El Primo's, Buffalo Wild Wings, but nothing that's going to drive people in there to attract them. I know they're all franchises, but what about something that's homey, touchy, feely kind of thing? I'm excited to see what they do put in there. I don't know how long it's going to take them to build it. But they are building across the street from Welland Park too. Mm-hmm. Is it going to be upscale like people are saying it's going to be? Do you know anything about that?
I don't have details of it. Typically when they do a project like that, they'll just say it's a restaurant that's going in. They won't go over who's going in at that time. That normally comes out a little later. It just depends on the developer, and most of the developers don't want to give away all of their secrets. They want to keep a little mystery to what's coming until that restaurant is said, yay, let's announce it. let's shout it from the rooftops, or that company says that piece.
Do you think Welland Park's gonna outgrow Northport?
Yeah, yes. In the long run, I think it will. I think it'll be similar to, not as big as a Lakewood Ranch or something along that line, but I really do. I think Welland Park has made a lot of good choices. The developers of Welland Park have really made strategic decisions to grow and for it to sustain itself. It's not going to need the city at that point. And that's when I think that's when you'll see that almost a separation, which I think they tried to do once before, but I don't know that the rest of the city would be ready for that kind of separation yet.
Understood. So a little bit more about you. How does one go from the guy that cuts onions and tomatoes, delivers food in a plastic bag, to a vice president of commercial lending in a bank?
Well, honestly, I can talk pretty well. And,
yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
And that is something that's helped me, personality-wise, be able to introduce myself into the right groups, the right crowds from time to time. And I'm honest, and I'm forward. And I think most of the people that I've ever had jobs with have all seen that. And at interview, they've seen something, and they're like, hey, I like this. I appreciate who he is and what he does, and I work hard. I started out, as you said, cutting tomatoes and onions and taking deliveries. I used to leave school, go deliver, and then go back to school in the middle of the day because I wanted to have a job, and OJT was a good opportunity for me. And that was after I dropped out of Port Charlotte High School and ended up attending the dropout school New Challenge.
You dropped out?
Yeah, I dropped out my sophomore year of high school.
Really?
Yeah,
Tell
absolutely.
us more about that.
So I just, I was young when I started high school. I was 14 and just didn't make a lot of good decisions. When I was 14, 15. Didn't go to class as much as I probably should have. Learned some valuable lessons. Didn't have a lot of credits when I started my sophomore year, and realized it wasn't right for me. I hadn't matured. My mother, being a school teacher, said, "You are not going to fail. You are not going to drop out. We'll find the alternative school. We'll help you get in." And she did. And honestly, I was a senior class president of that school. I received this full scholarship to what was Edison Community College at the time, all because it was a self-paced program. It allowed me to do the work at my own pace. So if there was something that was easy for me, I could hammer it out, do it real quick. But the things that were harder and took more time, I could spend time in class and get more assistance in those things that I needed. And it was the right fit for me. But maturity-wise, I needed to grow up. And that place helped me grow up. I walked in the door, and there's somebody carrying their 2 kids out to their car that's 17 years old. That helps you grow up pretty quick, realizing that here I am, some punk kid, that wasn't doing well in school and talking back and doing some stupid stuff. And here's somebody raising a family at 2 years difference than me. I got to make some better decisions in life. And it helped me grow. It really did. It helped me see other sides to life. And I saw some things that I didn't want to be part of. I wanted to make some better decisions, and I wanted to do better. And all of that led me to where we're at.
So do you think that was a turning point in your life where you were because for me, I when I started school, middle school, whatever, I was kind of like a failure too. And then a teacher sat me down, and after I got in trouble in one class, and she was like, you're so much better than this, right? You can do so much better. You can get good grades. You got it in you. What are you doing? And I'll never forget the conversation she had. It was at Port Charlotte Middle School with me. And ever since that day, I turned it around and I started caring about school. I started caring about this. So what I'm trying to say is, or ask is, what was that turning point for you to go from a dropout to fixing your life and turning it into the right direction?
It was definitely the alternative school. It gave me some freedom. I didn't like the feeling of being, we'll call it, in a cage at the high school. It wasn't a good fit.
High schools are very much.
But the high school was my turning point because of some teachers. The teachers that were like, "How are you this smart but you're getting bad grades on things. And one of the teachers said to me, if you would quit being lazy and get out of your own way, you'd be probably one of the best students we ever had. And that doesn't resonate right then.
You'd probably get angry.
You're
right
like,
then.
are you talking to me? Do you know who I am? As that sinks
Homie
into
went
you,
home red and shaking.
yeah, and eventually, it changed.
Yeah.
And that was when I always wanted to be a marine biologist, and that was when I realized I'm terrible at science.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never going to be a marine biologist. I have to figure out something else to do in life. And that's just where, things started to move, and business management was always my idea. I was a manager at some restaurants as I grew up, and it helped me show that I can manage people. I'm okay at that. And, I don't have to be a slave driver. I can still be a decent manager, and people appreciated that, especially when you worked for the large chains. They had that big tyrant boss, so it was cool to have a decent shift manager from time to time.
Yeah. No manager's ever loved.
It's true.
Especially in this industry.
It's true. And it's tough in restaurants.
It's difficult. It's stressful.
Because when you're so busy, you have nothing else to do. You're in the weeds. You're going crazy. Your food's coming back from time to time. And ours was, was a restaurant that we delivered in. It's an hour to figure out that the food was wrong that got delivered to that house. And now we got to fix it. And now these people have had to wait 2 hours. Of course they're mad. And of course the kitchen is mad because now they have to make the same thing over again, that the driver took the wrong bag when they went to leave. Nobody's mistake, but just one, simple thing that was trying to go quick.
It's difficult, even here at Dubs with our food runners and stuff. Like sometimes they put the wrong ticket on the bag, or forget an item and it's sitting in the window. Then I have food sitting in the window and we're like, where the hell is that going? And we put it on the table and we're waiting to see, and then someone calls in, oh, we're missing this. Then we have to refire, and it's all like money thrown down the drain. And not only that, it pisses the customer off. How likely are they gonna come back after an experience like that? You know what I mean?
And you're spot on with restaurants. It's got to be perfect the first time somebody comes in, because if it's not, in the back of their head, they're like, do I want to give it another shot?
Yeah.
But if it's perfect the first time, it then has to be perfect every other time.
100%. And that's the biggest failure of restaurants, is being perfect every time.
And honestly, when I come here, I order the same type things every time, and it's delicious every time.
I appreciate that.
I always tell people, when you go in, you don't think that French fries would be the thing that you're going to get at a restaurant, but make sure French fries are one of your sides. Eat them while they're hot when they come out. The seasoning that's on it, use the sauces to mix it with. It is amazing. And then you still have your other stuff, the brisket, which is to die for, the ribs that my son and I split every time. It is fantastic. And it still leads me back to, I want the French fries. And that's the craziest thing in the world to me.
You know why I do the French fries the way I do? Because that's how we had them in Maryland. Those crinkle cut fries with the seasoning just reminds me of home. And everyone wanted like fresh cut fries or straight cut fries, and I'm like, no. I'm sticking to where I know what I know.
And it works.
And it works.
And it's good. So
it works.
Yeah. And by the way, the espresso martini that you guys have.
Oh, yeah.
Top notch, 100%. Sure. You should have that drink just shouted from the rooftops, even though it may be a little pain for your bartender to make the espresso every time.
It is a pain for them, but honestly, all the bartenders here, that's all they drink. When they come here on their days off and they come to sit at the bar or sit at a table, all you see is a line full of espresso martinis. And the bartender on duty making them is livid. But they're not livid when they're on the other end of the bar. What you got to try is a tequila espresso martini next time.
All right.
Yeah, and that'll be on our new menu that should be coming out sometime this month. We got a new bar menu, probably our first ever bar menu that we've had, official one. So,
any other secrets that I should know about that are coming out on the bar menu?
There's a few. Right. There's a few.
All right.
Hold on, let me pull it up, guy. There's this one that came out, that's coming out, because we did a night, because I'm trying to learn how to delegate more now, because I got no choice but to. So I told the bar manager, I told Monica, the GM, I said, listen, I want nothing to do with this. But I said, on this date, at this time, I better have a line of drinks and a menu with recipes presented in front of me, or else all y'all getting fired. Literally looked them in their eyes and told them that. And I said, I better be impressed. Let me tell you something, man. I went home drunk as shit. I went home
We'll call that
so
impressed.
drunk. Someone had to drive me home. And it wasn't because I took one sip here, one sip there. No, I took like 2 sips here, 3 sips there, 4 sips there, stole a cup, and it just was a shit show.
Which means it was delicious and good.
Yeah,
So
that's exactly what it means.
they delivered.
They delivered pretty well. So the fruit, we got a fruity oats, which is
Okay.
kind of weird, but it was really good. It's kind of like they went for like a cereal milk kind of drink.
Okay.
It's a blueberry vodka, rum chata, and a couple other ingredients. It got a chocolate martini that was really good. The key lime pie martini that's gonna come out is crazy.
All right.
It tastes just like a key lime pie. We got a couple nice mules. We got the hanky panky, which is like a smooth fruity concoction with a hint of peach. Pretty good. Hot bee's knees wasn't my favorite because I don't like hot honey, but it was really good for what it was. It just like, you can respect something that's good but not your cup of tea, and that was one of them for me.
Is it a gin drink?
Yeah. How'd you know?
Bee's knees.
He's a drinker. Chocolate espresso old fashioned is really good. And we got a whole smoky take menu for drinks.
I'm excited for that. I do like a good
Yeah.
smoked old fashioned and some of the others.
So we're changing from top smokes to boxes
Oh, okay.
because one, it's going to be more of a display for customers, and two, when it's top smoke, all you can taste is the smoke. Where if you do a box, it'll be more infused than it will be just pure raw bitter smoke flavor. You know what I mean? So the drink menu, they did a fabulous job. Honestly, I was very impressed. I'm not a big like mixologist to like make a menu. I will admit that. Definitely one of my cons. I can cook in the kitchen, just not behind that bar. Fun fact is this restaurant is the first time I've ever worked with liquor.
Really?
Yeah, before I expanded, I never worked with liquor before.
Well, you sounds like you're doing the right things.
Yeah.
You started off with with some things to try, and if some drinks work, some drinks don't, you figure out to substitute, and then you bring in some new ones
Yeah,
that
for sure.
people have had other places. Obviously, either they've created this or they've had it somewhere else.
100%.
And it's awesome to give someone a little different selection than just the norm that you're
Yeah.
going to get. Great job with that. Those drinks all sound fantastic, and if you need a taste tester, you just let Christian and I know. We'll come anytime.
He said you should have hit me up that one night, had me come through. We would have both had to get Ubers home.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's
Quality
right.
control. Well, when it comes out, I have you come by for sure.
Deal.
We'll do like just like a video we did with Jeff. Yeah, just like a 10-15 minute video. We'll put some
Absolutely.
drinks in front of you and we'll talk about them.
Yeah.
You can taste them, try them.
Again,
We'll have
I'm
Uber
in.
on standby.
Deal. Deal. That's a good thing about having a child whose vehicle you pay for. They're
Yeah,
the free
they got
Uber.
no
Yeah,
choice.
absolutely.
You want that car payment paid, buddy?
Yeah, that's exactly right. You like your truck? Yeah.
Come pick up Pops.
Yeah.
You want to go to baseball practice?
Yep, absolutely. Remember all those years I took you all the places? It's your turn.
It's your turn. You
Yeah.
got to babysit.
Yeah, I'll buy you ribs. Just come
Yeah,
get me.
just come. Ribs and fries, seasoned fries.
And the mac and cheese balls. He will not come here without
Dude.
getting that.
I spent 2 hours yesterday making mac and cheese balls.
A labor of love.
Labor of love. So I'm prepping full time now. I come in at 4 in the morning. I leave at like 4 in the afternoon every day. Trying to get a day off. It's been like a week and a half now. I'm prepping every day. I'm actually really enjoying it, which is weird to say. Being here is not work to me. It just, I don't know. That's all I know.
So by you prepping every day, one of the things that will happen is it's consistent.
Yeah, 100%.
It's
And
the
that's
same food.
That's why I changed that, because it wasn't consistent before and I wasn't happy. This past year kind of taught me a lot of lessons, hard lessons,
Oof.
but a lot of good lessons. That's going to make me grow and some people fail to realize that I'm only 29 years old. And, you know, this is my 5th year in business, but I think I'm doing a great job.
What I like is you're not afraid to try something a little different.
Yeah,
And if
like this podcast.
Yeah, well, just like this. And you know what? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if it does, good for you for trying something different.
So my number one rule in the kitchen or in business in general is never be discouraged. No matter what, every great chef, every great leader, every great individual always makes mistakes or fails at something, right? But it's the discouragement that sends you back to the bottom instead of keeping you at the top, because once you get discouraged, you stop being creative, you stop trying, you stop believing in yourself. Whereas if you realize we're just human, it goes back to it has to be 100% right at a restaurant every time, right? But we're human, you know. You say you have a good experience every time. Some people might not say the same thing, and I guarantee you there's a lot of people out there that'll tell you Dubs one day for me was good, Dubs one day for me was not good. But the thing they fail to realize is we're good more than we are bad. And just like you, we all have our bad days.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because we're all human. We don't have robots back there. It's not 2035 yet. You know what I mean? So
I'm glad you went to 35. I'm hoping to keep my job till at least 35.
Me too. Me too. And that's just something that people fail to realize. But once you learn to not be discouraged, and that was something one of my mentors back in the day really taught me, was hounding on to me when we first opened this place, was don't be discouraged. Just keep trying, because you will get it. That's what I did. That's what I preach.
I learned the consistency thing from your uncle.
Yeah.
And he taught me, you know, as he's making things, I'm like, why do you pay extra to have this product or this product? And he said, because it's the quality. When you bought it the first time, you don't want it to be a less of a quality the next
100%.
time. And he said, you can lose a customer instantly by having, an inferior product. And you're spot on with something being wrong. Things are gonna, from time to time, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You said we're human. Mistakes happen. But if the quality of the product is there, so what, it came out wrong, or somebody made it incorrect, that's a little bit different than the quality of it.
Mm-hmm. And I pride myself in buying like top grade stuff here at Dubs. My bank account doesn't like it, to be honest to you, because I don't charge what I should charge on my menu, and I can't charge what I should charge because whatever. But I'm not gonna go cheap because that just against my soul, you know.
Well, you're passionate about the food you serve.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to order it, you don't want to order a lower grade product because you don't want to eat a lower grade product. So yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you for keeping the quality stuff, and buying me lunch from time to time is what it feels like for you probably.
Well, Nick, we're gonna wrap this up. Is there any last message you'd like to give out to people, maybe younger people in business, or people that want to come to this area?
You have an opportunity to still buy a piece of paradise at an affordable price.
How long?
Not long.
How long? Give me a number.
I would say by the 2030 turn, you're not going to be as affordable. Sarasota and Fort Myers are kind of built out. We're that next spot
We're
in between.
the middle.
That again, Venice has its own pieces, and North Fort Myers has its own. But the Punta Gorda to Northport, we are different. We are that little slice of paradise you can still afford. So buy it now.
Yeah, and I tell my brother that all the time. I think I've said that on this podcast before. He thought about leaving. I was like, listen, man, the next 10 years, this place is going to go crazy. We got the opportunity to really put our foot in the ground and take advantage of the opportunities that are going to come to this area. So why are we going to move anywhere else when the beach is right there? When we can stay focused here. We want to go to Miami, it's 3 hours. We want to go to Tampa, it's an hour and a half. We want to go to Sarasota, it's 45 minutes. Orlando, another 3 hours. Like, that's all reasonable timing to drive to a big city, for me at least. Especially coming from Maryland. Going to work in Maryland is an hour drive. And on top of that, if there's traffic, which 95% of the time there is, it's a 3 hour drive.
Yeah.
And people complain about the snowbird traffic here. You don't know nothing about traffic, buddy.
I will take this all day long. I will take this all year long and adapt to it, because I'm with you. I don't want to have to get on 3 interstates to make
And then on a metro train.
Yeah, and then still be an hour late for work, even though I left 2 hours early to be there on time.
Yeah.
I don't want that in life. I like what we have, and again, I'll take this traffic all day long.
I think it's a blessing to live here, man. And I really appreciate you coming on to our podcast, man. And I wish you nothing but the best of success moving forward, best of luck. And I appreciate you as a friend, and I hope you have a great day, man.
Well, thank you, George, and same to you. Best
Thank you,
wishes
buddy.
for
Fries
all the
coming
business.
ASAP. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, guys.